Yeah, there's a question in the audience. It says, first time it's very hard to go through the problem. How to gather strength in situation?
Just remain in that problem, that's all. Don't wish to run away. And don't wish that I should solve it. Just remain there. It's okay. If you agree to remain in the problem, the strength is there. And agreeing to remain in the problem, then you see you need to solve the problem, you need to move away. What is the best thing? Sometimes moving away helps, sometimes it doesn't help. Because wherever we go, the problem follows. So then you have to face and solve the problem and wait. It might not be immediate solution. Sometimes it may be years before it solves. So be it. Agree to be in it all the time. And the moment you agree to be in the problem all the time, the problem doesn't have so much effect on you. Okay.
Okay. The next question is, why only humans are entitled to karma? Why not nature?
We really don't know. We really don't know. But as Gurudev says, no, everyone is bound by in nature. The cows have to wake up at certain time. They have to sleep at particular times. They have to eat particular food, and they're designed for something, and they have to do this for that entire life. So human beings, we have been given intelligence and we have been given freedom. And because we have been given freedom, we have been given consequences for whatever choices we make. Okay, so that is how it is. They don't have freedom, that is why karmas don't come. And here also Gurudev says, no, if a person is in the army and if he's being violent to maintain security, then it is not karma. Why? Because that is what he is designed to be. He is not choosing what he has to do. It is orders and he is just implementing. So many things in human life also are not affected by karma. The police people or the army people, for maintaining security, if they need to do certain things, they need to do, and karma doesn't touch them, isn't it? So when you're in sync with the universal rhythm and universal consciousness, or in tune with whatever your guru wants or life wants, then also karma doesn't touch you. Okay, so from freedom you come back to a place where you are free also, and there is no karma touching you. So that is the ultimate thing, no? Where you are free also and karma doesn't touch you. And it is a practice. It does not happen overnight. Practice of sadhana, practice of knowledge, and then grace of the guru. The most important thing is the grace takes care of everything. Okay.
This, I think there's a connected question. It says, can animals attain moksha?
Yeah, that is what, see, we cannot verify it, but the scriptures say that passing through all the lives, we finally attain a human life. So moksha for animals is moving out of that animal life and moving on to the next animal life on the path of spiritual progress. So suppose, I don't know which is higher, which is lower. Suppose you are a cat in this lifetime and the next lifetime dog is the promotion. Then moving from cat to dog is your promotion, and it is moksha. From dog to something else, from that something else to something else, and then you come to human. And from human also we are saying, no, we have to attain that divinity. So that is moksha for us right now. Like in first standard, clearing first standard is moksha. For second grade, clearing second grade is moksha. So every grade you are in, clearing that grade is moksha for you.
Yeah, the next question is there life on other planets or are we alone in the universe?
All possibilities are there, and the possibilities will reveal themselves at the right time. Okay, so we can wonder, is it there, is it not there? possibilities are there. So many trillions of stars are there with multi-trillions of planets, and so chances are that there is a possibility of life elsewhere also.
Where there's some good question. There's one question in the audience that says, does it end somewhere? I think it's about your karma,
No, I think it's about the moksha.
moksha. Yes, right.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Probably
Right.
Gurudev will be able to answer that question. Does it end with attaining enlightenment, or is there any other world where this is just a preparation for that? We don't know.
There's another lady who's asking, when can we meet Guruji physically?
Yeah. People in the ashram are able to meet Gurudev. Not very often, but if he's going for a walk or whatever, we are able to meet him. And sooner or later, the corona situation will be more and more under control, and it will open up sooner or later. Okay.
Bhaiya. There's another question. I think these are all connected. I think question is, what is enlightenment?
What is enlightenment?
Yes.
So Gurudev, in very old times, earlier times, he used to say enlightenment is a joke. And the joke is, it is like the fish finding where the water is. A fish's life is inside water. So he says, in the same way, your life is inside an enlightenment only. Okay, so it's just a joke. One day or sooner or later, we are going to understand the joke. And if you're not understanding the joke, don't break your head. Okay, because it is only a joke after all.
May the last question is, and there's one in the audience, is, when will you go back to Bangalore Ashram?
Yeah, definitely not till November. After that, I will wait for instructions. Okay.
Bhai, the last question for today is, what is Chakra Kriya? Can you give a short insight?
No, it's a very short introduction anyway with the Chakra Kriya. So where it is declared, you do it. I think at the most 1 hour session will be there for them to explain and do the Kriya also. So I don't think so that it's going to be a longer session than that. But wait, sooner or later it's going to start. We were told that on the CRM we will declare it. And once we declare it, then we will start. And once it starts, the first 2-3 weeks it will be frantic sessions. Every teacher will be teaching. And after that, maybe it will be a little more slower. Okay. So good. Nice questions, Dhruv. People are showing a lot of interest, and you're also showing a lot of interest to fish for questions and ask people.
Yes,
So good. This week I am teaching a long weekend advanced meditation program, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of October. 2nd is a Friday. Gandhi Jayanti is a holiday in many parts of India. And 3rd and 4th is a Saturday, Sunday. If you have not taken an advanced meditation program, or for a long time you have not taken one, it is a time to take one and go deep into your silence. The silence is the source of all knowledge. All the other spoken knowledge is just a little expression of the unexpressible or inexpressible. Okay, so we have two wonderful programs. One is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then 17th to 20th of October, when Gurudev is in silence, you will get an opportunity to be in silence along with Gurudev. So in that plane, in the plane of silence, you connect with him, because he's in silence, you are in silence. So if you can get time during 17 to 20, it's a 4-day online meditation program, probably the first time, and it might not happen again for a long time. Okay, so these two advanced meditation programs are coming up. You can participate in any one of them. It was wonderful having all of you here for this program. Keep coming, keep showering your blessings and your interests, so that we grow more and more with time. Thank you. Take care and bye bye. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.